The next helper I want to look at is using picture boxes along with an image control. So that's two new controls for us. I'll keep this same project here, but I'll add on a new form. So again, right click on the project to add a form. Add Windows form. I'll go with default form 3. And I'm going to change the startup to form 3. So we just run that to test it. And the one wee thing I forgot to do is change the startup position to center screen, because it appeared my other screen there. So here we go. Form 3 is there. So let's have a look at the picture box control. Okay, so you just drop a picture box on the form, and I'm going to give it the name, let's see, pick random. So just be for random images. I'm going to use it for displaying images that are 200 pixels by 200 pixels. And then what we need now is an image source. So somewhere I can download images to, or somewhere I can use images. So if we, let's see, open, okay, so I'll just open Chrome. Okay, and I've already downloaded some images based on Star Trek. I did a search for Star Trek 200 by 200, so that I was only getting images that met that criteria. So you can do the same there and save them anywhere on your machine, and then making sure the picture box is selected. If you view the image property and click on the 3 dots inside the wee square there, and we can tell it that we're going to load a local resource. So I'll click on import. It's a local resource because we've already downloaded it, and I will now have a look to see where I saved it by it. Okay, so here's the location. Some I had done that were based on cars. So to start with, I'll click this car 4 and click OK. So you can see my image now to begin with is showing that there. Now yeah, I want to, so if I run that, you'll see it's just form with the picture box in it. But if I want to dynamically change the picture box or what it's displaying, I can load that separately through code. Right, but a nicer way of doing things is to get an image list. So if I put an image list on the form, right, it doesn't appear in the form, it's like a timer control. Okay, it'll appear down here, and I'm going to call it IMG. So these are going to be random pictures, so I'll just call it IMG random. Now the image size is important here. I'm going to basically load up 6 images into this, and they're all 200 pixels by 200 pixels. If I load them up now, it will load them up as 16 by 16, and if I try and display them at 200 by 200, then it'll stretch to 60 by 16 and give you a real low quality image. So before I load up any images, change that to 200 by 200. And the 8-bit color depth is fine, but I'm just going to put it up to 16. And the next thing I do in here is I want to tell where my images are, basically loaded up with images. And under the images property, you can see that we have a collection. So that was not unlike the list box and the combo box. So if I click on collection, I can then add images to the collection. and I'm going to take track 1 to track 6. So I have all 6 images now loaded onto there, and I can move the images up and down the list here. But essentially this operates like an array. It's essentially an array of pictures with index values going from 0 to 5. And I will click OK. I'm going to put a button on here. Right, just very simply, I'm not even going to change the name here for now. Right, I'll just double click on it, and I'll use that button so that every time I click on that button the image changes. So I'm going to create a variable that will store the image number. So it'll be int, and so let's call it image num, and I'll give it a default value 0. Right, and inside here when I click a button, I'm going to set the picture box, the image property of the picture box, to be equal to the one in the image list that corresponds pardon me, to whatever value image num is. So it's a picture box, so I refer to pick random dot image, and I set that equal to my image list, which is called img random dot images, and then say just like an array, give it an index value in there, and my index value is going to be image num. And after I've done that, I'll say image num plus plus, just to get it to add one onto it. And just to be sure, I'll say if, let's see, if image num, if it ever becomes equal to 6, then I will set it back equal to 0 again. So just a wraparound. And if I run that, so we've got the default image here. Click on button 1. I've now got image 0, 2, so on. It's just wrap right around to the beginning again. Okay, so it's nice simple control. I could use both the image list and the picture box, well, image list, picture box, and let's say a timer to change them. So if I put a timer control, too many things open here, so I'll put a timer control in there. I will enable it, give it an interval of 1,000, so that's 1 second. Go in here, and I could copy all that code and put that code in there. Alright, alternatively I could just call the buttons click event by just referring to button 1 click. I don't have any arguments to pass in, so I'll just pass in null and null for each of the two of them. So if I run that now, and the timer has started, so you can see straight away I've set the timer to enabled at design time, so straight away it's going to start running through that. And if I wanted 10 images per second, right, just reduce the time. Alright, and they're all preloaded, so it's not going to be slow. So nice simple control, right, and it might make your applications look a wee bit better. Thank you again.